I think the difference between the two players, between Sinner and Alcaraz, it's not overly obvious. It's not obvious. They're doing a lot of the same things. They're sliding, they're hitting, they're doing everything kind of out of this world. But the thing about them that makes them so attractive is that they play tennis differently than everyone else plays tennis. And I remember that 2022 US Open match. I watched it myself, but I also remember the online discourse of that match as like attention for that match was growing on Twitter as the match was going on, and from non-tennis people were chiming in like, is anyone watching this US Open match? Like, these guys look like they're doing something that's not tennis. And I think that's oddly enough, that's the same thing that happened in the 2025 French Open final. Like the lore of the match like hit the zeitgeist while the match was happening, which brought more people to the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the 2022 match, and Nathan brings it up in the book real well. But I think that was something where alchemy was happening, right? There were both sides. You're watching like Alcaraz is something different, and Sinner, how is he hitting the ball? And Nathan has a couple descriptions too. Like, and it sounds like when you hear Sinner's ball live, it sounds like a car backfiring or some sort of a almost like a shotgun blast, right? I maybe you've heard it. I have yet to hear it live, but
It is something to behold. I was actually in New York last round of qualies a couple years ago. It might have been 21, maybe 20, maybe 22. I can't remember which year. I was kind of on the back courts, like walking around the backside, and I could hear some pretty intense hitting going on. And I come up on this court, and it's Sinner and Fritz are practicing on an outside court. I guess that had to be 20. This had to be
okay.
22.
Yeah,
Shit, what was
rough
that year?
year.
It had to be 22. But yeah, it's a different kind of like thwack, like two
Yeah,
by
yeah.
four hitting a hard object kind of thwack.
You can hear that in the audience sometimes, especially when you rewatch some of the 2022 match that we're talking about. It was you would hear Sinner would hit a forehand. It would be it's just a basic down the line shot, but you'd hear like some of the front crowd go, "Oh." Like there was a sound. What was that? And you're thinking that just went down the line, but the sound of it must have just boom, like comes off, and everyone's like, well, I haven't seen that before. So, but
Right.
this kind of plays into now. Here we are in 2025, and I feel like Sinner, all he's done is perfected that shotgun blast of a ground stroke on both sides. Whereas Alcaraz, you feel as if, listen, I got this now. I've figured this out. I know the blunt force that you're trying to attack me with, and I'm absorbing it now. And not only am I absorbing it, I'm playing with it. And
Yeah.
I have the shots to mess with your mind so that you feel like you have to do something different. But then now that you're
Right.
improvising, you're in my world.
Yeah, and Carlos said
So,
that in his post match. Was like, I don't really. He said I don't really train specifically to beat Yannick, but like I've played him enough times. I know him. I've watched his matches. I enjoy watching him play, but I know what I'm getting myself into. So I think you're right in that if we want to kind of look at both players' true skill sets, like Yannick is the best of the best ball strikers on both wings, right?
absolutely.
He can find spots, from the baseline. It's hard to say that anyone touches what he does right now. But Carlos has the ability to, not like you mentioned, absorb that, but then
He
also
does.
start to play with spins and shapes off of that ball to create opportunities for himself. I think it is while Sinner's game is a little more, I'm not going to use the term reliable because
Mm,
previously mentioned 8 straight finals. I think Carlos is pretty reliable, but it's almost more
true.
straightforward. It's just that most players can't do anything about it. But
Yeah.
Carlos has found a way to do something about it.
Well, that's
Yeah, I think
that's
it's
what
best way to
I
put it.